Good evening. Good evening,
Good
everyone.
evening.
Good evening. Because we start now, and please, people should raise their questions so that we can be discussing. It doesn't really matter if it's not only me that will provide the answer. So if somebody has any question and other people are able to contribute, let's see. We answer. Please, somebody is making noise. Dr. Adeyemi, please, if you know there's noise in your background, you mute yourself. Only when you want to talk that you you unmute yourself. So anybody, you can chat your question. Yes, it can be both ways, chat or raise question. And if it is about data management, you should be able to have data. If you have data sets, you can do that. You can open and share. But you can chat your question or you ask your question so that you can start now. So it's an interactive session because we have carried out a lot of workshop from around May or June to this time, and a lot of operation manipulation we did with SPSS. Some people are still having some issues with some, maybe after the workshop they went to practice and they're having some issues. So it's not good to carry such issue over to 2021 because this time is as we are sober, trying to enter new year, we should fine tune our skill. If we want better 2021, our skill also should be better. It is skill, improved skill that will position us, give us better position to achieve our dream in 2021. So we can as well use this time also, holiday time, activity time, to see create some time to make adjustment to fine tune our skill. So I don't know, that wasting time. If you have any area or concern, just chat or ask the question, voice it out. If you don't want to voice, you can chat so that you can keep on attacking it, provide a solution. Because I'm surprised Dr. Ekombo should be the first to raise question because he was the one that raised. So those your concern will start because most of the time, yeah, okay. Most of the
Hello,
time,
sir. Good evening, sir.
good evening,
Thank you
good
very
evening.
much for this
Welcome.
opportunity.
Yeah. Go on.
Thank you, sir. Yes,
Good
sir.
evening.
Good evening, Prof. Okay, go on.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. I'll be most grateful. So if I now understand, there was an explanation you did for me where you talked about how, when analyzing data in SPSS, like for example, when doing a comparative study, that it is the frequency. So it is the actual frequency you're reporting, not the bivariate. So what's about the difference between doing a cross tab? Because when we do that, okay. So when we do the public private, is it that I just want if you can expatiate. I don't know if you understand the one I'm talking about. If you can
Try to ask your
expatiate on
question so
it.
that people will understand. Don't just relate it to what me and you we have done before. Because if you are asking a question, just floating, people will not
Okay.
conceptualize what
So I
you
was
are.
trying. Okay. Yeah, they will not consider this. Okay. So for example, if you're doing a comparative study for rural urban now,
Yeah.
and let's say you're just starting with the social demographic.
Yeah.
So the way I used to, I actually thought that. So I used to think that because you're trying to do it against public private, you're looking at the social demographic. So it will be a form of bivariate analysis, the way you have rural urban. So I always looked at it as being a bivariate analysis, such that because oftentimes you see that even chi-square is reported and P is also reported. So why is it that in that instance we usually report the actual frequency? So that's we don't report the frequency along the exposure variable. We report the actual frequency. Unlike when we're now doing other types of bivariate
Yes,
analysis,
I
like
understand
other
your question.
bivariate.
I understand your question, so that people will be able to benefit from what you have just said now, because I will answer. So I wouldn't know if you can
Okay.
share. You can share that your book, that area. Just share the output. So or you don't have access to it now. Are you not using your computer? Can you share
No, I don't
it?
have access. I'm using
Okay. Can I share it? Can I share
my
it?
phone.
Can I share it so that people see it? I will use it to
Yeah,
explain. Can I share that your book,
no problem.
that area?
No, no problem, sir.
Okay.
No problem,
So
sir.
okay, let me just share so
Then
that many people may not understand
I
what
have
you have
a
just
second.
asked, but I
Okay.
understand what you are asking. I will share now. I will shed light so that people will
Okay.
have understanding of what you are asking. So if there's
Okay.
any, in 1 minute, I will retrieve
Okay.
file.
Thank you, sir.
If there's any other question, people can ask the question now. If there's any other question, another person, while I'm trying to retrieve a file.
Please, I have a second question, sir.
Okay, go on.
Okay, sir. Please, I have a second question, if you
Go
don't
on,
mind.
go on.
Okay. The other thing I wanted to ask is, when doing comparative, so oftentimes we are asked to report, when writing the pros under the results, we're asked to report it as comparing. That is as opposed to within group comparative analysis. Why do we why are we doing the, even if, for example, one side is statistically significant, let's say, for example, the public is statistically significant and the private is not statistically significant, but why is it that we are still, so, like, first of all, I want to know, how do we report it when comparing public and private? How is it, like, what's an example of how we can write it out when comparing, and why do we do that? Like, why we, even if it's just one side that is statistically significant?
Okay, well, what you mean by one side being statistically, I don't understand. But the question you had, the first one,
Okay.
the second, they are related. So I will clarify let me start
Yes.
answering. I think I've shared something that people have seen the result. This is an
Yes, sir.
example.
We can see. Yes.
This is an example of a comparative study, public-private. If it is one group, you don't need to say public-private. What you go to do is that you have the variable name, yeah, and you're going to have frequency and percentage. Maybe you have 3 columns. There won't be any room for any statistic there. Since it's comparative study, it's cross-sectional study. The cross-sectional study for 2 groups. And why are you doing the 2 groups? That's why you are comparing. That's why they call it comparative. So if you are comparing, in that case, you must be able to compare this age distribution from public. Is it different from private? Please, somebody should be muted. That's Dr. Briggs, man. Please mute your this. Thank you, man. So now you will see, if it is only one group, you just report the frequency and the frequency and relative frequency. The relative frequency is the percentage. Whereas when it is comparative now, it's still the same cross-sectional study, but you are comparing the two. So you want to know, okay, the age distribution in public, is it the same thing as private? So that is why the statistic comes in. That is why you try to put in chi-square to see if there's any difference in the distribution. But the way you report the statistic, whether it is cross-tabulation or maybe you are just comparing the frequency, the statistic will not change, chi-square will not change. But the way you report, you interpret it will differ. Here now you see that the percentage is along the column. That is, even if, let's say, you are even doing only public alone. Well, look at this age now. Less than 20 years, 160, 32.9%. No, the next one is 54.7%, 9.9%, 2.5%. Even if it is only public you are studying, that's how the percentage will be. It will add up to 100%. It's the same thing with the private. So when you are doing comparative like this, this is initial frequency table. This initial frequency table, you report along the vertical. You still treat each of them as individual group. But the statistics is just for you to know if they are the same or they are not the same. So that is why somebody is, Dr. Grace, please mute yourself. Dr. Grace, mute. Okay, that's great. So that is number one question you asked. I will go to the other table now. the table on cross-tabulation, you're going to see the percentage will be, the direction of the percentage is different. That's the question you are asking. Because in that cross-tabulation, you are not comparing the frequency now. You just want to see association between the outcome and the exposure. Okay, this is an example. Look at it now. This one, association between socio-demographic anxiety and perceived stress. So if you look at the same age now, so since it's comparative, we did it separately for public and private. So you try to see association between age and moderate or high perceived stress for public or private. So if you look at it for public, you have your own chi-square separately. For private, you have your own chi-square. You just put it together so since it's comparative, so that they are beside one another. So you will see that here, look at this 20 now, under 20 now, the total that are under 20, they are 160, if you remember, 160. So out of the 160 now, 8.8% have high moderate, high stress, 80.6% moderate, and 10.6% low. If you look at it along, if you had 8.8, 80.6, 10.6, make up 100%. You are putting the percent along the horizontal. What is telling you is that among people that are less than 20, what is the distribution of this different type of stress? Then among the people that are 20 to 24, what is the distribution of different type of stress? Among the other one, like that. So if I now go graphically, I will now say, okay, if you look at high perceived stress, you see that is 8.8 highest among the people that are less than 20. Then followed by the people that are greater than or equal to 30. Can you see? So the issue there is that when you are doing association, your percentage should be along the exposure variable. But if you are just comparing table, just ordinary frequency table, you are just comparing the two, it will be along the vertical, total up. That's the difference. So the second question you now ask now, I don't understand. The question you now said, why are they having different something? If you look at it, it's only one statistic you have for when you are for the age now, when you are looking at comparing the frequency. But when you come here, when you do cross-tabulation, each of them has its own. So I don't know this.
Let me use this table to ask the question. Can I use this table to ask the question?
Yeah, you can go on.
So my question now is, for example, let's say in age now, you said this one that is under public.
Yes.
Let's say that the P here, the P in two was statistically significant.
Yes.
But the one in private was not statistically significant. Now you're asked to write a prose. You know the way you write the results.
It's very clear. It's very clear.
To compare the public and the private, that is between groups.
Yes. If you in that case now, you not say age is a factor in private. Age is not a factor in public. That's all. If it's significant in one and it's not significant in one, that's that age is a factor in one, it's not a factor in another. If you look at this one as sex now, is significant for both of them. That shows that sex is a factor for both sides. And this age is not a factor for both sides because it's not the significant in any side. Let's scroll down and see the one that has one significant, the other side not significant. Look at for this one now. For marital status, it's significant in private, it's not significant in public. That's what it means. Does it make sense?
So are you saying that you would just I will just state it as age is a factor in public and age is not a factor. That's all I'll state.
Exactly. Some people are asking some funny questions. Let me tell you, that is why we need to know what we are doing. Yes, I mean now we need to, and in Africa, we just need to think deep. Because some people just do things to, you know what some people examiner ask people to do, things that have no meaning. They will now say, okay, look at this one now. Marital status here now, the stress something here is, the high stress is 3140. You now select it out. For private, 7030, select it out. And now cross-tabulate, and now look at the difference. It doesn't make me, you know why it doesn't mean all of them, they don't have the same denominator. Like for marital status now, the total under single never married is not the same thing as the total single married in both private and public. So bringing 70 years and 31 years, trying to call, it doesn't make meaning. Some people do it doesn't make meaning. So when you are talking of comparative, some people are still making noise. I don't like it when, please, let's don't distract other. So that's just it. It's because of the lack of understanding. And this person is an examiner. If you don't do, you will not pass. So it's just asking you to do meaningless thing, and people just do it and they don't write the wrong thing. Somebody sent this book. One examiner made comment about somebody did this type of work, comparative study. He said cross-sectional comparative. That was the word comparative. Only just say cross-sectional. I don't believe that, because cross-sectional, you cannot just cross-sectional descriptive is different from cross-sectional comparative. If you say descriptive cross-sectional descriptive study, everybody knows that it's single group, one group. But when the person say comparative, you know that maybe either two group or more than one group, either 2 or 3 or more. So the cross-sectional study, it's good to tell us if it is the analytical, the comparative now is a form of analytical, or is it descriptive, one group. So people just say that it doesn't remove the fact that just remove for the fact that you're comparing to doesn't mean that it's not a cross-sectional, it's cross-sectional. But it's cross-sectional, which type of cross-sectional? That's what it means. So there's nothing wrong putting comparative there. So you have to because if somebody you are just talking on phone now, it's a cross-sectional study. If you want to, is it the cross-sectional descriptive or is it comparative study? Okay, I don't know if it is clear. I don't know if any other person has question concerning that.
Yes, I
have questions.
One after the other. Dr. Ikobo, wait, let her finish. Which other one do you still have?
No, thank you very much, sir. That was the clarification I needed.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
So no need to quote values. Okay.
Well, you said you didn't need to quote values.
I said no need to quote values when writing the pros for associations.
No,
like it makes sense.
You can see. Let me tell you now. If I want to write the pros for this one now, it's just for you to say, okay, the age is not a factor. There's no single association between age and the persistence in both private and public. Just leave it. But if you want to now see value or whatever. But if I say that where there is association like the marital status, I have to now state that which group, I have to now come and say, okay, the people that are single or never married, they were more likely or most likely to have high stress, level of stress, 50.5% compared with cohabiting or married, which is 11.1. Because if you say there's an association, you must be able to tell us where the association lies. You can still have to explain further. But I understand the problem you usually have when you have big study like that. You just have to select the most important thing out. Like now, you may not even need to even talk about age. There's no association between. Just pick marital status or where there's association, and I explain. Because if you have to be explained, there's no. Your pros will be too much. They will not say it's too much. And actually, you don't even need to tell the one that are not significant, because if anybody is on the table there, you can see it. But you just want to, since the one that you can just pick the one that are significant out and pick it and I explain where the significance is, because that's what makes meaning. To reduce to reduce the volume of your let me say there's some work that are not so robust. If it's not so robust, you can go and be looking for story to tell to brief off your sentence. But when your work is so much, you just have to limit your story to important things. Or else the prose will be too much. That's just the logic. Okay, I think we are through with that. Okay, Dr. Ikobo, sir.
Okay, sir. So my question was just to verify the what.
Are you okay? Are you okay with this?
No, my question was just to verify. I was talking about. No, sir, not yet. No. I understand this one. I wanted to just ask to verify one final thing. So when doing the comparative pros for publishing that in the public there was an association that age association with age, while in the private there was no. That's all. I'm not quoting any figures because the denominators are not the same.
Yes. What I'm saying is that if you say there is association here, no association, where there's association, you still have to explain how the association is. Where there's association,
Yes, of course.
you need to explain it. Yeah.
Of course. Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, welcome. Yeah. Dr. Kobosa.
Okay. My main concern is the understanding of a transformation command. But before then, I was carrying out a study on that involves linear regression, and I find it very difficult to select the most important things that I'm going to put on the table. Can I share something with you?
Yeah, share. Share.
Okay.
Okay, somebody chat also. Let me, as you are sharing, let me read the chat.
Okay, can you enable the sharing?
Yeah, I think I've enabled now. I've enabled. You can share. I've enabled.
Have you seen it now? But have you seen it?
Wait. If other people.
Have you seen anything?
Yes, we have seen. I've seen. Yeah.
Can you see anything?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, no, so the most important things to report on the table when you are doing a regression, linear or very multiple or whatever, even if it is
no problem. Okay, it's okay. It's okay like that.
And put on the table.
Yes. Okay, now.
Hello.
I can hear you. Let me respond. I can hear you.
The most important things to put on the table when writing a paper.
Okay. Now, if you look at two, there are two aspects of the result you are showing. One aspect of the result is showing you what you put the model, what goes into the model. You know, the regression is a model. You are trying to model an outcome exposure.
Who is calling me now?
So you are trying to model an outcome from exposure like, for example, now this one you just run now is about I don't know which one is it. You know, education level and the dependent variable here is
gestational age.
Gestational age. And
gestational
your
age. At delivery. The gestational age at delivery. Whether education has an influence, whether parity. But the other ones are not yet. I have not yet done the multiple.
Don't worry.
But this is just the single.
Let me explain it. This one is education. Yes, I want to get because people didn't have access to your data so that they can grasp what we are discussing. So here now the outcome variable is the gestational age at delivery. The exposure is the level of education. Now, you want to be able to say that if somebody has higher level of education, maybe he has primary, maybe he has secondary education compared with somebody that has primary education, which is higher than primary. What will it add to what change will we expect in gestational age at delivery? If somebody has tertiary
at
education,
delivery.
Yes, at delivery. What change do you expect? Because gestational age at delivery is the outcome. Now, for you, if you look the last part of it, if you scroll down, there's the last table. Scroll down. Yes. No, what are you? You know, linear regression. No. I want the one that has the.
I'm coming.
Okay, it's okay. This is coefficient. Yes, this is the table.
Wait, let me see.
No.
Okay.
You are there. Yes, coefficient. So yeah, this is the table that will answer it. It will tell you that for a unit change, when the education changed by 1, that is, when we change by 1, it may be from no formal education to primary education to secondary to tertiary education. Let's say there are 4 levels. If it changed by 1 unit, maybe if there's a difference in the educational level, from maybe 1 unit, you can be from secondary to tertiary, or from primary to secondary, or from no formal to primary. So that gestational age will change by 0.06. That's the coefficient beta. That's what you are seeing here. Now, it's even trying to tell you that if you look at the T, the significant, it's not significant because the first one is given is for the constant. But but it's not significant. It shows that it's not significant. Show there's no significant improvement. That's what it shows. But even let's say there's significant, either there's significant or not, before you can even say you value, let's say it's even significant, before you can depend on this information and say that by the once the education change by 1 unit, this is unit change in gestational age at delivery. Before you can rely on it, we have to know this model, is it good enough? So the initial part of the result you are seeing before that coefficient table is the one that will tell you these first two tables, model summary and ANOVA. They are the one that will tell you if the model is good enough. I don't know if you understand me now. It's just like somebody said that.
I understand.
Yeah, somebody prescribe, they say that they are buying a car for you. They are helping you to manufacture a car. So you want to know that these people company, would they be able to manufacture, or maybe an instrument you are using in the laboratory, in the hospital. You want to know how good are they, their product. You know, they say, the product of this one is good, this company, the product. So it's like, before people can say that the product of this company is good, there might be some tests they have carried out or some parameter criteria they use to measure how good the product is. Before you can rely on it that, this auto analyzer I just bought now, it will do the work correctly for me. So it's just like that. These first two tables, they help you to look at the model. The first one is the Haru square. The Haru square is trying to see, okay, because the model you build, this model you build around to explain gestational age as a delivery. You use education to build it. Now, education can explain some things about gestational age. It cannot explain something. So what R squared does is to see how out of many things, all the things that have to be explained about all the matter about gestational age, your outcome, what proportion the education is able to explain. Do you get it? Look at, for example, now, this one arrow here is 0.12, which is the correlation. Now, arrow square, if you square is 0.12, that's why it's giving 0.00 something. So it's very small. If you express as percentage, maybe 0.0001, maybe it's telling you 0.1%. So if something is explaining more than 1%, less than 1%, will you say that is good enough? It's able to do more than it's able to explain. Yes. So R square is what we call coefficient of determination. Is the change in the outcome variable you're expecting that is accounted for due to change in the exposure. That is change in the gestational age, which is your outcome variable now. That is due to change in education. If it is too small, education has minimal influence. That's what, and that is what the result has shown. The level of education has minimal influence on the gestational age at delivery. That is what it's telling you. Now, the ANOVA, it also is looking at the fit also. We go both R square and ANOVA. The ANOVA now, what is trying to compare now is that, you know, the R square compare out of many things that need to be explained, what proportion is explained by the exposure variable. The ANOVA, you know, we have portion that have been explained and portion that have not been explained. What ANOVA does is to divide what you can explain by what you cannot explain. The logic behind is that you explain if that is a good factor. It should be able to explain much more than what it cannot explain. If something explains 80% and it left 20% unexplained, when you divide 80 over 20, it will give you what? 4. It is telling you that what it can explain is 4 times what it cannot explain. It's a good one. But if it's 1, it means that maybe something explains 50, it cannot explain 50. 50 over 50, it gives you 1. It's like gambling. Sometimes something can explain 10%, it cannot explain 90%. If you put 10 over 90, it's 0%. So that shows that it's useless. It's not even a factor. So if that is a factor, it should be able to explain more than what it cannot explain. It's not just more, it should be big so that it's far, far bigger than what it cannot explain. So that when you now divide what it can explain by what it cannot explain, it will be give you number that is big, bigger than one, far, far bigger than one. That is the logic behind ANOVA. I don't know if you have gotten it. So those two,
Yes,
ANOVA, they are trying to tell you how good the model. This model is not good. That's just it. If you look at it, even the ANOVA is not significant. So
yes.
if you look at the F, it's 0. In fact, what is telling you that the what it cannot explain is much more than what it can explain. That's why if let's say what it can explain is much more, the F will be greater than 1. Can you say 0.2, which is the statistic for ANOVA? The F is 0.203. It means that because you put what it can explain as numerator, what it cannot explain as denominator. It is when denominator is bigger than numerator that you get is 0. something, and that's what has happened. So what it can explain is smaller than what it cannot explain. That shows that it's not a good model. So throw away education. I think it's very.
But when you are presenting, what are the key things?
Yes, thank you. When you are now presenting, what we do is that when you are for linear regression, okay, so that we don't, let me just show you one we have presented before, so that people will benefit. Let me just 1 minute now.
Yes, should I stop sharing? Should I stop sharing?
Stop sharing. Yes, I want to
should
show.
I stop sharing?
Yes, stop sharing. I want to show people the work we have done before that so that you see the way it presented rather than talking into the hair. So let's see the way it's being presented. So if another person has question, let me know so that while I'm trying to share this one, you can, if you have question, you can raise your question. If you have question, I'm trying to look at the. Just 1 minute.
Yeah, who is this person now?
You need to mute your phone. If you mute it so that it doesn't mute it, it will not disturb us here. Don't disturb me. What is this result? More. October. Okay. Just a minute. Any other person, when I'm looking for any other person? I'm looking, there's one fantastic result here that will just give you the clue about. Okay, it's me that didn't scroll down. It's here, sorry. I've seen it. It's one lady's work. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I'm here. I'm there now. Let me, I share. Yes, look at this result. This result about, we try to look at peak expiratory flow rate, and what are those factors? Initially, before you do regression, you may have to do, just like the way you do a lot of bivariate analysis, we do correlations, so just to see. Those on the pointer to know where this is going. First of all, this correlation matrix, where you try to correlate the peak expiratory flow rate, age, weight, height, BMI, the circumference, which one circumference, all those, which circumference is this? Then when we now do simple regression, look at what I just showed here. We show R square, F ratio, and p-value. You know, we don't want to, the first table, you look at this first table now. There's no point repeating, trying to show something that is not even good enough. So showing the model, building model for what is not. So first of all, look at the R square. Can you see the R square, which is the one first of all talk about, correlation square. The F ratio, which is the result of ANOVA. That's the p-value that go with the F ratio here. So you can see now, from B, we're able to point out that something like height give us the highest percentage, 26.9, followed by weight, 22.1, followed by age, 18.9. We also have systolic blood pressure, 11.1. We also have male sex, 7.9. That is male as opposed to female. You know, this is a form of point bicellular correlation, in the sense that where correlation or correlation and regression, they are related. Like if you want to correlate, you want to regret age in sex now. Sex, you have to create a dummy. You either male 1, female 0, or female 1, male 0. What influence me making male 1, female 0 here is that when we are initial analysis, we found that the peak expression flow rate is higher in male than female. So in that case, we know that it's higher in male. We now make male 1, 0, female 0. If you do it that way, give you the same result in different way. So when we have done the screening now, we now try to now create the model for the ones that are the best among them. We find out that the best are height, age, sex, weight. Those are the ones that contribute. After we have done that now, we now put their, can you see their beta? What you need after the R square and F ratio, they help you to screen out. We are going to report the beta. The beta is regression coefficient, change in the outcome per unit change in exposure, the one that I first showed you the other time. So for each of the this thing, they have their own. So if you look at it now, as you are adding, we do step by step. This multiple regression, as I start with height, this is the beta for height. And when I added it will give you constant and R square F ratio. When I added age to it, each age and height will have their own beta. Can you see? Their own coefficient. It will be changing because you are removing confounder. Can you see the beta for height and age now? But they will have the same constant, one constant for them, R square for them, and F ratio and p value if you combine them. When we added age, sex, can you see? So when we did finally, we added weight, which is the last one. Why we didn't have the other is that the other did not contribute significantly, and that's why we didn't have. So only those 4. If we look at only those 4, we're able to report with making noise. Why is my this freezing? Sorry, my computer is. Who is making noise? Then you should stop making noise. I don't want my computer is freezing. I want to. Please, who is making noise there? Hello? Are you hearing me?
Probably the person is not there.
Yes, I'm trying. What is it? I'm even tired. I don't know why my computer is freezing here. I tried.
I think you should block the person.
Yes, you can help me. No, my computer is even freezing here. I don't know. It's freezing.
I think it's
already come back. I'll come back now. The computer was freezing.
Maybe he's not there. I think his mic is on. Dr. Ebenezer. Dr. Ebenezer.
I will no. If I will remove the person completely. Sorry, that type of this, I don't like it. You just disturb other people. I don't know what's wrong with my. Just frozen. Ah, ah. I think the person has. So maybe I've given too many commands now. Just a minute. Okay, the person has, but I even trying to go back. But are you still seeing my slide? Hello?
I can see it. I can see it.
Okay, okay. If you are so since the person
Please,
has
please go up. Please
So
go up a bit. Go up a bit. Go up a bit.
Okay.
Go up a bit. I want to ask a question. Go up a bit.
I will do that. I'm doing that now.
Just go up small.
Okay, go on.
Okay. No, it's not yet. The type. Okay, this arrow square now. On this table, has it been expressed as percentage? Has it been expressed as percentage already? Or
Yes,
the wrong one?
you see the percentage here. It's already expressed as percentage.
It's in percentage.
If it's not in percentage, you get 0 point something.
Okay, I'm okay.
0 point something. So all of them will be 0. Look at you.
Okay.
Look at the percentage is there.
I've seen it now.
It's very clear now. So you report your R square and P.
Very clear.
Yes. That's all. So look at and now form a model. Look at the model equation now form. Since we are, if let's say the sex is not there, it will be only one equation. Since sex is there, you cannot have the same equation for male and female. So you will now have different equation for male and female. And you see now for male, for female. So all those factors, height, age, and weight are there. So any other question?
What is PEFR?
Peak explosive flow rate.
PEFR.
Peak
Okay.
flow rate. That's the outcome measure for that person that did the work.
Okay. Okay, it's clear.
Okay.
So the transformation command.
Okay. Let me, maybe you have your this in there. I don't know why. Can you try and share over my own? Because I'm trying to, maybe I should log out. I don't know. I'm trying to close this. This one is not closing. I don't know.
We can give you some minutes now. You close and come back so that you can do whatever.
Let me just close. I don't know. I don't know why it's not. This is not closing. Just 1 minute.